Friends, good afternoon. I think I'm audible now. We'll be starting our second session now.
Yes, sir.
And in this session, we are going to, or we'll plan to define the audit, define the subject auditing. What is auditing? We'll try to bring a technical definition. By the way, we have already understood now what is auditing. We know it is an evaluation process. In the process of auditing, we evaluate the financial statement with an intention to express an opinion. These things we already know. Various definitions we'll be learning here. Then we'll try to define or try to identify what is the objective of auditing, what is the scope of auditing, what is the nature of auditing. All these things we are going to learn here now. I am going to share the screen with you. I think screen is visible to you now. Screen is visible. Yes or no? Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as you can see, meaning definition, that is nature, objective, and scope. We are going to learn here. First, let us discuss about the nature of audit. Nature of auditing. So, it is understood that the examination of financial records, that means the nature of audit is such that when you do auditing, we examine the financial records or examine the accounting records. Can you give me some examples of accounting records which you feel that these things needs to be examined in order to give an audit report or in order to express an opinion on the financial statement? Which are these accounting records? Can you give me some examples? Yeah, please tell me. That these are the accounting records one should audit or one should verify. Yeah, Oliva, can you think of some record?
Yes, sir.
Give me some examples. So what kind of accounting records you are thinking? Who can tell me? Well, let me help you this time. Accounting records means you see maybe cash book, maybe ledger. Is it not? So any kind of accounting record, maybe vouchers. All these are accounting records. So in the process of auditing, these accounting records are examined, right? And why audit is necessary? It is necessary as because the financial statement needs to be reliable. Is it not? Because there are various stakeholders who use this financial statement for different purpose. So it is important that these financial statements should be reliable. Stakeholders may include investors, stakeholders may include government, bankers, employees, all these are the stakeholders. And to understand the business or to understand the company, they rely on this financial statement. And the financial statements are prepared by the management. Okay, so there is a possibility that the management may purposefully make some kind of wrong financial statement. So therefore, that needs to be evaluated, and somebody, some outsider, some independent agency should give an opinion that the financial statements are reliable. Okay, then only all the stakeholders will be relying on this. Okay, and auditor need to understand the nature and the purpose of financial statement. Auditor is giving an opinion on the financial statement. Is it not? So he need to understand what is the nature and purpose of financial statement. Each financial statement, nature-wise, is different, and purpose of that financial statement is different. So as you know, suppose you can see a balance sheet. Can anyone tell me what are the contents of balance sheet? Is it same as statement of profit and loss? Is the contents of balance sheet is same as statement of profit and loss, or they are different things?
So balance sheet has liabilities and assets.
Okay, okay. And statement of profit and loss?
Sir, indirect expense and indirect incomes.
So, okay. So you see, so there are two different financial statements. So if you take these three major financial statements, balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, and cash flow statement, they're different. The purpose of balance sheet is that it is prepared to know the position of the organization. Okay, what is the asset position, what is the liability position, what is the equity position, that can be understood with the help of balance sheet. Right. And the purpose of statement of profit and loss is different. There the purpose is to know the performance of the company. What is the income, what is the expenditure. Through that, one can understand how the company has performed. So therefore, different financial statement are different nature-wise and purpose-wise also they're different. So auditor need to understand. Suppose an auditor is auditing a balance sheet. He need to understand that it is showing the position of a company or the position of an organization. So he has to satisfy that the position what is shown by the organization is actually true. It is showing the true position, or it's showing the fair position, or the profit this company is showing in this profit and loss statement, it is true and fair. So first thing is expected of auditor that he should understand the nature and purpose of each financial statement. And these financial statements are viewed by different interests from different angle. Different people view it from different angle. They have got different interests. Suppose a banker is viewing that. Banker is interested to know whether the loan which he has given to the company are properly secured or not. He may see the value of the assets. Right. He may try to understand whether company is solvent in the long run or company is solvent in the short run. That may be his interest. Okay. Let us say employee is saying, employee may see what is the profitability of this company, whether he will be getting his bonus or not. Is it not? So different people has got different interest. And they view the financial statement from different angles. So that is the concern of the auditor. Auditor has to see that by and large, the financial statement is showing true and fair. And here we have to remember, it is the management who is responsible for establishing an accounting system through which the financial statement is prepared. Financial statement preparation responsibility is with management. Auditor doesn't prepare financial statement. Who will prepare the financial? Who will be preparing the financial statement? Management and auditor. It is whose responsibility?
Some management.
Management. So management is responsible, and management is also responsible for establishing an accounting system to identify, measure, record, and adequately disclose entities' transactions and other events that affect the financial position and results of the operation. So management is responsible for identifying a transaction. Suppose sales has happened, but it has not been accounted. That it is a failure of the management. Okay, a transaction has happened, but management system has not identified it. Okay. Okay. Similarly, measurement. Suppose closing stocks are valued at a particular amount. Whether the valuation is right or not, it is management's responsibility to ensure that valuation is correct. Okay. And whether things are recorded properly and adequate disclosures. Some of you might have studied accounting standards. You know, for different issues, for different items, different kind of disclosures are there. Whether the disclosures are properly made or not. For example, management has to decide, management had to disclose what is the composition of cash and cash equivalent, whether it has been disclosed or not. It is the responsibility of the management. If management has failed in discharging this responsibility, then auditor, depending upon its materiality, may report that the financial statement is not showing true and fair view because management has failed in discharging its own responsibility. Okay. And here we have to remember, just because someone is auditing, an auditor has verified, that doesn't mean that the management's responsibility is reduced. So management responsibility is not lessened by an independent audit. Audit is a different thing, but management is responsible for the entire accounting system. right? An auditor has to independently give an opinion. Management cannot take a plea that you see auditor is auditing, so my responsibility is reduced. Understood? Up to this, did you understand this concept coming to nature of auditing? So nature of auditing is such that management has got different responsibility and auditor has got different responsibility. Auditor need to understand each and every financial statement, its purpose, and has to satisfy and has to give an opinion that these financial statements are showing true and fair. But preparation of financial statement and development and establishing accounting system is the responsibility of management. Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, we'll once again at this stage understand what is auditing and in audit situation what actually happens. This is again not a definition. I'm again trying to explain what is audit. Okay. So this particular not definition, this particular explanation of audit is given in the general guideline of internal auditing by Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. There some attempt has been made to explain the auditing. This again not a definition. Definition will be going to learn later on. So auditing is a systematic and independent examination. When I say systematic, that means it is defined. There is a particular process. Some system is there that has to be followed. Okay, it is a systematic, process-driven, some defined procedures needs to be followed, and it is independent examination. Independent examination means the auditor is independent of the organization. Auditor doesn't have any interest in this organization except that auditing engagement. So it's a systematic and independent examination of data, statements, records, operations, and performances for a stated purpose. It is an independent examination for what? For a stated purpose. Stated purpose means for a defined purpose. And what is that purpose here? Purpose here is to express an opinion. Why auditor is examining the data, statement, records, operation, performances? Because he has to express an opinion, that is his purpose. And in any auditing situation, auditor does all these things. Can you see this picture? Auditor has to perform all these things. What he has to do? Has to perceive and recognize the proposition before him for examination, collects evidences, evaluates the same. On that basis, formulates his judgment, which is communicated through his report. Okay, this is the activity you can say auditor does. And we need to understand what is the meaning of these terms. First thing, what auditor does? Perceives and recognizes the proposition before him. Okay, so anything, when auditor sees something, some entries or some figures in the financial statement, he has to perceive something. Okay, are you with me? If I give some examples, I think you'll be able to appreciate. Suppose you see, suppose you are seeing an item in the balance sheet. It shows under non-current asset, it shows vehicle worth 5 lakh rupees. Are you understanding this example?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suppose you are seeing one item vehicle. So you must be perceiving something, no? So something should come to your mind. You see the company own a vehicle. The value of that vehicle is 5 lakh rupees. The vehicle must be in the name of the company. Then vehicle must be using for the business of the company. So these are your perceptions, is it not? Is it not? Yes or no? Please participate.
Yes, sir.
Please keep on participating. Please keep on participating. So he sees that, okay, vehicle is there, when so many things he is perceiving. And he may immediately he may think, he may say, okay, let me test this perception. He will say whether company is the owner. He may ask, okay, show me your RC book, let me see. And he finds, okay, RC book, vehicle is in the different person's name, maybe in the name of the director. Then say, okay, my perception is wrong. I thought it is company's vehicle. It is not. That means your balance sheet, you are overstating your asset. Asset is which is not belonging to the company are shown in the balance sheet. Is it not? He may test whether it's a business asset or not. He may see the logbook and find out what is the use of this vehicle, and may find, okay, this is wrong perception. Okay, in any situation, let us say auditor finds an entry sales this month. So immediately auditor perceives that actually some sales transaction has happened. Some product has been sold. So he collects evidences. He will say, okay, show me your sale bill. Let me compare with your, let me find out the summary of all this sale bill and compare it with your GST return. You are showing sales, but actually you are not filed return. So this is how auditor tries to examine. Are you understanding? When I say auditor perceives and recognizes the proposition before him, okay, before him there are several propositions are there, and he tests each propositions through examination. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you have seen, he perceives something, he recognizes some issues. How he will check it? He will collect evidences, just like I told you. Auditor may ask, show me RC book, show me sale bill. Okay, then evaluates. He may see, okay, these are genuine. This is actually genuine RC book, genuine sale bill, or it's a fake bill. He evaluates whether that is correct or not. Okay, then he exercises judgment. Actually, the transaction is valid or not. That position, that asset position is right or not. And accordingly, he communicates. Communicates means he writes a report. Did you understand the auditing process? Yes or no? Did you understand up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So auditor finds out a situation. He perceives certain propositions. Right? He recognizes certain propositions, then tries to examine. How he'll examining? He'll be collecting certain evidences, evaluates it, exercises judgment, and communicates it. Right? Did you understand up to this? Let me show you some example. Let us say you are seeing in the balance sheet, you are seeing cash in hand, or you are seeing bank balance. Some of you please tell me, you must be perceiving this is the cash or this is the bank balance belonging to the company. This cash bank balance belongs to the company. How would you like to verify? How would you like to test? Give me some example.
Sir, can you repeat the question?
Suppose in a company's balance sheet, you are finding out bank balance 5 lakh. Right? So balance sheet shows bank balance as on 31st March 2020 is 5 lakh rupees. Okay, so perception here is that this bank balance belongs to the company. Company was having that much of bank balance as on 31st March. Now, this what you are perceiving, you need to examine, you need to collect evidence, satisfy yourself. Now, question is that what kind of evidence you will be calling for, so that you can satisfy actually this bank balance is this one, or this is a wrong balance they're showing. What you can call for? Can you think of any document? You can ask these documents.
So we can check it in the cash account or the bank account.
Yeah, you may check the
The
bank account.
company
You may
has,
ask for bank statement. You may ask for
yes,
bank
sir.
ledger. There might be different. You may get a reconciliation of that thing. Okay, by doing all this thing, you will be able to conclude whether the bank balance that the company is showing, that is right or wrong. If that is wrong, you will express an opinion that the financial statement does not show fair view because bank statement is incorrect. Bank balance is incorrect. Okay, but how to express? You should have sufficient evidence for that. And through this process, we are collecting those evidences. Right? Are you getting me? Okay. Now, as I told you right now, financial statement is prepared by whom? Who prepares the financial statement? Whose responsibility?
So management.
It's management responsibility. So most of you must be knowing when you see a financial statement, okay, there are 4 pillars to this financial statement. That means in the financial statement, we recognize some items or some transactions. It is measured. Measured means it is quantified. Suppose you are saying closing stock, we recognize there is a closing stock, we quantify, we arrive at the value. We do a kind of presentation, that means it is presented in a particular place in the financial statement. And some disclosure requirements are also there. That's all. For each item, there is a recognition, there is a measurement, there is a presentation, and there is a disclosure. So auditor evaluates all these things. Okay. Auditor checks whether recognition is proper or not, whether the company or organization is saying it is sales or not, it tests. And it is measurement, whether the value is right or not, whether it is presented in proper way. Suppose sales is shown as miscellaneous income, whereas it is sales. So it has to be shown as the main income, not as miscellaneous income, like this. Presentation and disclosure. If some disclosure requirements are there, that also should be tested. The preparation of the financial statement is no doubt is the responsibility of the management, but auditor checks all this thing. Right? Now coming to this financial audit, which we are going to learn. Financial audit means audit of financial statements. Right? It's the verification of the financial statements of a legal entity with a view to express an opinion. These points we are discussing when we talk about auditing. We evaluate the financial statement with an intention to express an opinion. And this opinion is intended to provide reasonable assurance that the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects. And it also gives true and fair view in accordance with the financial reporting framework. This concept we have to understand. First of all, what is this financial reporting framework? Okay, up to this, is it clear to you? I will be explaining this thing, what is financial reporting framework. Little technical issues are there. But before that, I want to, all of you by this time must have understood what is auditing, what is the objective of auditing. Okay, and in an auditing situation, what auditor exactly does. I think these things are clear to you. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, friends, auditor collects evidences, is it not? Collect evidences with the help of which he forms an opinion. And when opinion is formed, he expresses that opinion. That's what auditor does. Okay. And the audit opinion is intended to provide reasonable assurance. Okay. So if your accounts are audited, it will give you a reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance means a high level assurance, but not an absolute assurance. Absolute assurance means it is a guarantee that there is nothing wrong. Auditing cannot give you that kind of assurance. Okay, it will give you a relatively high level assurance that the financial statements are presented fairly in all material respects. If something is material, then it is fairly presented. That means there might be something wrong, but they're immaterial. That might be small errors, they're immaterial. But if it is material, it is presented fair. And also, it gives a true and fair view in accordance with the financial reporting framework. Okay, financial statements are required to be prepared within a financial reporting framework, within a particular framework, it has to be prepared. I'll be explaining you shortly what is that framework. Right now, just have an idea. Suppose it's a company, you have to prepare the financial statement in a particular format. Company law prescribes that format, right? And you have to comply with accounting standards. So like this. So financial statement has to be prepared in accordance with the financial reporting framework. And auditor's report gives us an assurance that it is actually prepared according to the financial reporting framework. And the purpose of audit is to enhance the degree of confidence of intended users of the financial statement. The users of the financial statement should be more confident when they see a report which is audited. Let us say one is audited account, another is unaudited account. The users of the financial statement will get a higher degree of confidence when they see a financial statement which is audited. Okay. So friends, at this stage, we need to understand, first of all, what are these financial statements? Because in financial audit, we'll be auditing the financial statements. Is it not? So many times, some of us get confused that what are the financial statements? Do you know what are these financial statements? Can anyone tell me that these are the financial statements? Can some of you tell me what are these financial statements?
The profit and loss statement, balance sheet, and cash flow statements.
Okay, these are the three major financial statements you have told me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but let us see what is financial statement that is defined under section 240 of Companies Act 2013. That is one area, that is one place where financial statement has been defined. It has been defined in other places also. You see, it's an inclusive definition. Financial statement includes what is one, as you told, right? One is balance sheet. Second is profit and loss account, which is called as in fact statement of profit and loss. Cash flow statement. These three things you told me already. That is also financial statement. And two more things you have not told. And now it's time to remember. Statement of changes in equity, where applicable in some company, has to prepare a statement showing the opening position of the equity and the closing position of the equity and various steps how the opening position has been changed into closing position. That has to explain in that statement. I'll be showing you some of the statement that is called a statement of changes in equity, not applicable to all companies, but applicable to certain companies. So they need to prepare the statement of changes in equity. That is also part of financial statement. And explanatory notes. These notes forms a part of financial statement. Okay, they're annexed to the main financial statement. So all these things are the part of financial statement. So now if someone is asking you what are financial statement, can you name these 5 items? Can you tell me what are financial statements? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, try to telling me what is financial statement. What are these financial statements? 5 items I told you. Yeah, please tell me what is number 1.
Sir, profit and loss account. Hello.
Yeah, then profit. That is statement of profit and loss. Then
Sir, balance sheet.
balance sheet.
Then, sir, actually last 3, I told cash flow statement, but last 2 which you told, I didn't get you. My network is down.
Okay, somebody else can tell me. Now this question goes to Srinath. Srinath, are you there? Srinath, please unmute yourself if you are there. Since Srinath is not there, now question passes to Sonia. Sonia, you are there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can you tell me what are the financial statements? Which
What are the?
statements? Financial statement. Which are the financial statements we are referring to? Just now I told you there are 5 types of financial statement, or financial statement includes these 5 statements. What are these financial statements? Who else can tell me?
So can I try?
Yeah, please try. Who is replying?
Some me, Mridula sir.
Yeah, Mridula, yeah, tell me.
So there is income statement.
Right?
There is statement of financial position.
Okay. That is balance sheet, right? Then,
So there is statement of change in equity.
okay, good.
So
3,
there is statement of cash flow.
okay. 4,
The other one I'm not able to.
explanatory notes.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Explanatory notes. Now, all of you, friends, all of you, please remember this thing. This is important for us. We need to know what are these financial statement, because the entire auditing, we are auditing the financial statement, right? And otherwise also, being students of commerce, we need to understand the financial statement, right? The Companies Act defines financial statement, saying that it includes balance sheet, profit and loss account, what you told as the income and expenditure account or statement of profit and loss, cash flow statement. All these 3 things you already know. 2 things I'm just telling you to remember. One is statement of changes in equity, and 5th one is explanatory notes. Okay, I think, is it clear to all of you? All of you can answer now. These are the financial statement, and similar definitions is also given in Ind AS 1. Some of you might have already studied Ind AS 1, right? The financial statement comprises balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, statement of changes in equity, statement of cash flow, notes, comparative information, and balance sheet. Okay, almost similar kind of uh, definitions are there. So we need to understand these are the 5 things which are referred to as financial statement. I am showing you some kind of financial statements. Some financial statement I'm showing. This is the financial statement of a company. As you can see, this is the balance sheet. First financial statement, just have a look how it contains. This is a vertical presentation of the balance sheet. You can see it. First, you see non-current assets. Can you see? Are you seeing it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Then you see current assets, equity, non-current liabilities, current liabilities. So all these things are there in the balance sheet. Okay. So auditor verifies these items. All these item auditor verifies. You see, this is the total of non-current asset. This one. This is the total of current asset. Company's equity position is this much. Company's non-current liabilities are this much. Company's current liabilities are this much. Are you getting? All these things are prepared by the management. And these are the, if you want to understand what is the composition of the property, plant and equipment, you have to refer to note number 2.1. There the details will be there. If you want to know, let us say, what is this other financial liability, you have to refer to note number 2.12. These are explanatory notes. They also forms a part of financial statement. This is the balance sheet of the organization, which shows the position of the company. In fact, this is the balance sheet of Infosys Limited. Okay, the latest balance sheet to 2020 balance sheet is here. And comparative previous year's figures are also there. So one can find out what is the changes in non-current asset, whether it is increased or not. Auditor collects evidences for each of this item and expresses an opinion. Understood this financial statement? Are you getting it? Should I move?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you see this is total of assets and total of liabilities are here. They are matching. Now similarly, you can see the statement of profit and loss. Here you can see the performance. These are the main incomes or revenues. These are the expenses. Other items are also there, through which this is a one more financial statement. Auditor also finds out each item. Okay, detail of revenue from operation, if somebody wants to understand, he can just to refer to note number 2.17. One can find it out. Right. These are the total figures. And this is an example of statement of changes in equity as on 31st March 2020. What was the equity position? Okay, that one reconciliation statement has been prepared. Okay, various breakups of equity like security premium, retained earning, general reserve, all these components are here. Okay, somewhere equity position because of something, the equity position has been reduced, because of some transaction, equity position has been increased. So this description is there. It clearly shows it's a reconciliation of the opening and closing position of the equity. Some companies prepare this thing. And this statement is called as the statement of cash flow statement. Okay, here you can see three kinds of cash flow from operating activities. What is the cash flow? It is shown here. From investing activities, the cash flows are shown here. And from financing activity, what is the cash flow that are also shown here. So activities wise cash flows are presented in this cash flow statement. Okay, and then activity wise you must have studied what is cash flow statement. And this is an example of explanatory notes. Here companies tries to explain. Suppose 2.1 talks about property, plant and equipment, explains what is the accounting policy relating to that. Suppose goodwill is one more item. Detail about the goodwill explained here. They are called as explanatory notes. So these are the 5 kinds of financial statement: balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, cash flow statement, statement of changes in equity, and explanatory notes. And auditor audits all these 5 financial statements. Okay, so first of all, then what is important for us to understand is that financial, as an auditor should have some kind of expertise to understand the financial statement. Is it not? Only when auditor understands what is a financial statement, then he can audit. He needs to understand what is the objective or purpose of different financial statement. Now tell me, again I'm asking you, what is the purpose of statement of profit and loss? Auditor needs to understand that. Is it not? Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of preparation of statement of profit and loss? Can you tell me?
So to project the expense, like to project the profit and losses, or
to arrive at the profit and loss position. Is it to arrive at the profit and loss? Not exactly project. With the help of that, you can do a projection. When you talk about the projection financial, projected financial statement, they are different. Right? Projected means you may say this is base year, this is audited. Then what will happen next year? You can do a projection. What will happen next year? That is another kind of projection. Okay. Right. Are you with me? Here,
yes,
that is the purpose. So auditor has to satisfy that this particular financial statement, that is statement of profit and loss, is showing the true profit. There might be some errors, but they're immaterial. Okay, that opinion should be given. Whether the financial statements are showing true and fair view or not, that auditor has to express. And all these 5 kind of financial statements, auditor needs to understand what is the purpose, and accordingly he has to collect evidence so that he can express an opinion. He can form an opinion and express an opinion. He needs to collect evidences. He has to plan so that evidences can be collected. Okay. Any query you have up to this?
No, sir.
Now, one more technical thing I am going to discuss with you right now. Now you know it is management's responsibility to prepare the financial statement. Is it done? And management has to ensure that the financial statement is prepared in accordance with financial reporting framework. That is what we are discussing little earlier. That how to prepare financial statement in accordance with financial reporting framework. We need to understand what is that financial reporting framework. So at that time, I told you that roughly you understand it is the set of rules and regulations following which a financial statement needs to be prepared. Okay, you can say it's a set of rules and regulations. But here you will be learning it is a set of criteria used to determine measurement, recognition, presentation, and disclosure of all material items appearing in the financial statement. So by using that criteria, the items are measured, items are recognized. That means whether it is sales or not, they are recognized. Measured, their value is arrived at, they are presented, and they are disclosed. So it is a set of criteria. Okay. This framework sets out the concept that underline the preparation and presentation of the financial statement. Financial statement has to prepare in accordance with this financial reporting framework. Right. So one has to prepare financial statement, keeping in mind the legal requirements, accounting standards requirements of auditing standards, and applicability of other law to the entity. Financial statement has to prepare. Okay. And the objective of financial statements is to provide information about financial position of the company. You are talking about balance sheet, financial performances, and about cash flows. Cash flow, activity-wise cash flows are provided in the financial statement. And these financial statements are used by a wide range of users for taking their economic decisions. Therefore, that needs to be reliable. Okay. So how to make it reliable? That needs to be audited. Okay. Now, at this stage, we'll come to a particular definition of audit. And for our understanding, we'll define audit like this. It's an examination of financial information of an entity. So financial information needs to be examined. And this entity may be profit oriented or may not be profit oriented. Entity may be small entity, may be big entity. That also doesn't matter. But when such an examination is conducted, it should be conducted with a view to expressing an opinion on that financial statement. So now if I read it again, an audit is independent examination of financial information of an entity, whether profit oriented or not, and irrespective of its size or legal form, when such an examination is conducted with a view to expressing an opinion thereon. Okay. Are you understanding this definition?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, some of you read it. Please read it. Please read it and read it loudly, and take pause at every bullet point. Please read it.
An audit is independent examination of
Now wait a minute. Now here first part of the definition says it is an independent examination. If auditor is somehow related to the organization, let us say auditor is supplying material to the organization, then he is not an independent. He is not an independent auditor. So that process we cannot call it as auditing. So when I talk about audit, it is an independent examination. Okay, independent examination of, now read.
Financial information of any entity.
And friends, here we are talking about financial audit. Okay, in this course we are learning about financial audit, but of course you know other audits are there. But what we'll be learning here is about financial audit. So therefore, we have to financial auditor has to focus only on financial information. So it's the examination of financial information. Now, next point.
Whether profit oriented or not.
Now, friends, you have to understand there are many organizations which are not profit oriented. Their objective is not to earn profit. that might be non-profit making organization, non-government organizations like this. But audit is conducted for both, whether it is profit oriented or not profit oriented. Their accounts can be audited. Next point.
Irrespective of its size or legal form.
Irrespective of its size and legal form. Size, it might be a small company, it might be small, big company, doesn't matter. Okay, same auditing principles are applicable to all. And irrespective of the legal form, it might be a company, it might be, let us say, partnership form. Legal form of the entity might be different, but still audit can be conducted by applying same principle. Then
So then is when such an examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion.
yeah, and this examination is conducted with a view to express an opinion. Auditor knows that why I am verifying this thing, why I am checking this balance sheet, because I have to express an opinion on this balance sheet. So accordingly, he thinks what kind of evidences can be collected. Now, I had shown you some balance sheet, one balance sheet I had shown you, one statement of profit and loss, I had shown you, cash flow I have shown you. And you must be knowing these things, this financial statement, what you have seen right now, this contains the entire affair of the business. That means entire business transactions are reflected in the profit and loss statement and balance sheet and cash flow, is it not? Whatever you do, they're recorded there, they're reflected on that. Yes or no? All business decisions, all business activities are reflected in these financial statements. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because all activities are linked to money and all monetary transactions are reflected here. Okay, and it is expected that auditors should express an opinion on those figures or those financial statements, keeping in mind the purpose of that financial statement. So how it is possible? Therefore, it is expected that auditors should have good knowledge about the business, first of all. Knowledge is the key. Without knowledge, auditing is not possible. Thorough knowledge in accounting, thorough knowledge about the legal aspects, legal issues, or concerned laws related to that company is necessary. Okay, because you have to give an opinion on the financial statement. It's not about preparation of the financial statement. You have to give an opinion on the financial statement. Okay, suppose by mistake, current asset has been grouped as non-current asset. So auditors should have knowledge that whether it is a current asset, it should be classified as current asset and non-current asset. Which situation it can be regarded as current asset, which situation should not be regarded as current asset. They should know. Knowledge is the key. Right? Suppose salary is paid. It's simple transaction, salary is paid. But auditors should know whether in this kind of salary TDS is applicable or not, whether tax has to be deducted at source or not, whether PAPSA is applicable or not. Otherwise, TDS, let us say salary has been paid, but at the same time, one liability is also created. PF liability or ESA liability is created. If that is not created, then your balance sheet liability is understated. Okay, so auditors should have clear knowledge about all these things. For example, sales has been made, but let us say GST has not been collected, that also creates a liability. So your balance sheet will not show true and fair view. So just like you see few examples I gave you. So here I'm expecting that auditors should know the income tax law, auditors should know the PA, PSI gratuity, auditors should know the GST law, auditors should know the accounting standards, auditors should know the concept of preparation of accounting, like this. Is it done? So knowledge is the key. Without knowledge, it will not be possible to conduct audit and to become a good auditor. And one should ensure that nothing contained in the financial statement that should ordinarily mislead somebody. So financial statement should be prepared in an unambiguous way. There should not be any ambiguity in the financial statement. Okay, suppose something is shown, a salary means it should be salary. Not that money is paid to a contractor, it is booked under salary. So that is wrong. It will mislead. Okay. So one should understand this thing. Okay. Is it clear up to this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is when it will be asked to you what is audit. So you should be able to give this kind of definition, that auditing is an independent examination of financial information of any entity, whether profit oriented or not, and irrespective of its size and legal form, and when such an examination is conducted with a view to expressing an opinion. Okay. So if you try to analyze this definition, first of all, it is an independent examination. We know this thing of any entity. Okay. Non-government organization, non-profit making organization, all these things, government organization, non-government organizations, all are covered here. There should be an object of expressing an opinion. Now, how auditor will ensure that these financial statements, that what we are talking about, these 5 kind of financial statement, shows true and fair view. How one can ensure? So naturally, auditor has to follow a process, a systematic process has to follow. Okay, and here is a list of some basic processes. We'll be learning this thing, and we'll be discussing all these things in detail in our next class. But today I'll be just introducing you to this stuff, this concept. What is the process? I expect some of you to read it one by one. Point number 1. First of all, auditor should satisfy. Point 1. Please read it loudly.
Accounts, financial statements have been drawn up with reference to books of accounts.
Yeah. That means what? You have seen financial statement, right? Let us say non-current assets are there this month, or cash and bank balance is this month, or sales is this month. So these are the figures which are reflected in the financial statement. And you have to see these financial statements are prepared. They should be prepared with reference to the books of account. That means if I see my bank ledger, the same figure should be there which is appearing in my financial statement. If I see my cash book, the closing balance should match with my financial statement. Okay. So as an auditor may do one thing, refer both the things. Let us say sales response, you may see the sales register or sales ledger. And you may tick up both the things. Both the items are ticked, that means they are matching. So he has to see accounts and financial statement has been drawn up with reference to books of account. It should not happen that books of account is showing something, but you are showing something. Books of account shows the salary for the month of January is 23 lakh, but your financial statement shows the total salary, let us say, a different figure. Okay. So first thing I have to see that the financial statements are linked to books of account. Okay. Now next step, what you have to see? Second step, please read it.
Entries in books of accounts are adequately supported by underlying papers and documents and other evidences.
Yes. If some entries is made in the books of account, let us say books of account shows sales this month on this date, it should be adequately supported by some supporting documents. So if sales are made, some sale bill should be there. Bill should have been generated. Okay. Or if some purchases is made, then purchase bill should be available. So first you compare financial statement with books. Next you are comparing books with supporting documents. So that is also a kind of vouching exercise. Here what auditor does, auditor ticks off the books of account with vouchers or supporting things. Understood up to this? Now, these 2 points, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Point 3, please read it. Third
None
point.
of the entries of books of accounts can be has been omitted in the process of compilation, and nothing which is not in the books of accounts has found place in the statement.
Okay, this is one exercise. Here you have seen after ticking up both the things, auditor cross checks. Is there any unticked item? Okay, if in the books of account some item is unticked, that means some item is there in the books of account but not there in the financial statement. So therefore it says none of the entries in the books of account has been omitted. Okay, has been omitted in the process of compilation. So entire items, all the ledgers of books of account should have been ticked. If it is something is unticked, that means something is there in the books of account which is omitted in the process of compilation. And at the same time, you have to also see all the items of financial statement should have also been ticked, because nothing which is not in the books of account has found place in the financial statement. So we are matching books of account with the financial statement. Financial statement is unticked means a figure in the financial statement is unticked. That means it is there in the financial statement but not in books of account. So therefore, nothing which is not in the books of account has found place in the financial statement. Okay, so when you do the ticking, and many times if practically you have seen some auditor, you find out auditor matches various figures. The matching is done with an intention. Intention is that first he sees that all the figures in the financial statement are supported by books, and all the figures in the books are supported by some supporting documents. And there is nothing which in the financial statement which is not there in the books. Okay, and there should not be something in the books which is not there in the financial statement. That is checked. And information conveyed in the statements are clear and unambiguous. The information should show that which is disclosed should be clear, or clarity should be there. Okay, if a particular, let us say, profit and loss shows some item as like this, it should be exactly, it should be clearly understandable. Okay, suppose telephone expenditure is telephone expenditure. If you write something else, it may not be understandable. Okay, computer is computer. If you write something else, then it will create a kind of unambiguity that should not be there. Okay, why it is specifically we are discussing these points? Because practically we have seen some companies are doing it. Telephone expenditure, many places it will be written as, let us say, data communication expenditure. Computer will be written as, let us say, a ledger processing machine. So these things create ambiguity. So these things should be avoided. Financial statements amounts are properly classified, described, and disclosed in conformity with accounting standard. The way classification is required by accounting standards, it should be classified like this. Okay, and properly described. Where description is required, it should be properly described, and it should be properly disclosed also. Let us say accounting standard requires that cash and cash equivalent should be disclosed, or the composition of that should be clearly described. That has to be done. Okay, point number 6, please read it.
The statement of accounts taken as an integrated whole present true and fair picture of the operational results and the assets of liability and liability.
Yeah, overall, after verifying all these things, auditors should see that overall picture should be that the financial statement, the overall picture which is shown by the financial statement should be a true and fair picture. It should present a true and fair picture of operational result and asset and liability positions. Balance sheet, statement of profit and loss, both of them should show the correct picture. Okay, I think you got a fair idea about the process of auditing. So next class, I'll be explaining all these things again in detail. We'll be practically saying how to implement that process, right? So to summarize what you have learned so far, we try to understand what is auditing. Okay, then what is the objective of this financial statement? Whose responsibility is it to prepare this financial statement? And when it is prepared, every financial statement has got some purpose. Auditor needs to understand that purpose. And once auditor understands the purpose, he has to perceive every situation. He has to correct evidence. He has to confirm his perception. Then he has to form an opinion. Then he has to express that opinion. Okay, and auditing involves certain specific processes. That processes also we discussed. And overall, by applying all these processes, auditor will form an opinion whether this financial statement shows true and fair view. If it shows true and fair view, we'll write it shows true and fair view. Otherwise, we'll write it doesn't show true and fair view. Okay, is it clear to you up to this?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay, that's good. So I think some of you has taken responsibility to share the study material. Please read those study materials. Next class again, we'll catch up
Yes,
from this
I
one.
have already mailed them.